We are starting this broadcast with some visuals coming from India's capital of New Delhi, where for the first time in 10 years, a woman chief minister has taken oath. Aam Aadmi Party leader Atishi is taking over after party supremo Arvind Kejriwal resigned from his position.
मैं आतिशी ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूँ, भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगी। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगी।
This is expected to be a temporary position for Atishi, who is holding the fort for Kejriwal. Within 48 hours of walking out of prison, Kejriwal announced his plan to resign. He has called for an early assembly election to allow the people of Delhi to decide if the Aam Aadmi Party government is an honest government. Atishi is the third woman chief minister of Delhi, after Sushma Swaraj from the BJP and Sheila Dikshit from the Congress. The AAP leader is also now the youngest chief minister of Delhi. Before this, Atishi held key portfolios in the Delhi government such as Education and Public Works Department. An Oxford University alumnus and a Rhodes Scholar, she has taken up various roles in the party organization and the Delhi government. Earlier, the AAP leader said that she will work towards the goal of bringing Kejriwal back as Delhi's chief minister.
Close the proceedings. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
For more updates, we are now being joined by our correspondent Dharamjot Kaur, and she's joining us on a phone line from New Delhi. Dharamjot, good to have you with us on the show again. Well, Atishi held fort in Arvind Kejriwal's absence, and her rise within the party has been touted as meteoric. And before being proposed as the CM face, she held 13 portfolios. However, what are the critical challenges that she faces as she takes office as a new chief minister?
Well, there are going to be several challenges, Isha, especially, a lot of criticism and allegations that are going to come from the opposition parties with respect to how this entire political change has transpired. As you rightly mentioned, we saw Aam Aadmi Party chief and three-time chief minister Arvind Kejriwal resigning on Tuesday earlier this week, after which Atishi's name was proposed. But as we're aware, her tenure as chief minister is only contingent to as long as the next assembly elections are not held.
Right.
Now, whether they'll happen in November or in February, that remains to be seen, although as per timeline, it's scheduled for February next year. But Arvind Kejriwal has been calling for early elections to be held in November. Maharashtra state elections will also be held at the same time. So he's been asking for simultaneous polls to be held. But with regards to challenges, at the moment, now that she's made chief minister, Atishi's next procedure that she has to complete is prove majority in the Delhi Assembly. So as far as we know, there will be a two-day special assembly which will be convened on the 26th and 27th of September, where she has to prove a majority. We also saw at the oath-taking ceremony that there were 5 other Aam Aadmi Party leaders who were also sworn in as new Council of Ministers for New Delhi. Now, as far as the assembly, the special assembly is concerned, and the next few months in terms of Delhi's political landscape is concerned, there's going to be a lot that Atishi will have to overcome. One, we're already aware how Arvind Kejriwal is dealing with the allegations of the liquor policy scam. So her meteoric rise also brings a huge amount of responsibility, not just for the portfolios that she handled before, but an overall state government, because she's a very young and a very new, political leader, Isha. How much of that role she's able to handle, although she mentioned she will be doing it under the guidance of Arvind Kejriwal, but how well she's able to handle that pressure and all the allegations and accusations that are going to come in from the opposition party, that's going to be a real challenge for her.
Right. So you just spoke about the challenges that the party will face and her as the face of the party is going to face. What about the challenges in terms of governance of the state?
Well, I think the Aam Aadmi Party right now would be in a much better position, Isha, to be frank, with respect to what they've been dealing with in the past few months, especially after Arvind Kejriwal was arrested. We saw the Aam Aadmi Party scrambling in terms of, the government being able to function in full capacity, because when Arvind Kejriwal was in judicial custody and then behind bars, he was not being able to perform his chief ministerial duties, which is exactly why this entire thing transpired the way it did. So at least that is one roadblock that the Aam Aadmi Party will not be facing anymore. In terms of all the logistical and administrative responsibilities that now have to be taken care of. But yes, with respect to overall governance in terms of the pressure and the challenges that come in, that is something that the party overall will have to face in terms of all kind of pressure that's going to come in from all the different sides, including the BJP, the Congress, and other parties. Also, for the fact that they have to prove their mettle yet again, because calling for early elections, or even if it's elections happening in the month of February, Arvind Kejriwal is going to have to prove that he's worth another shot in the eyes of Delhi's voters. How much of that can be accomplished not just by the Aam Aadmi Party chief, but also by the entire party, in entirety, in terms of the policy implementation and the changes that they've been talking about, the promises that have been made. So it's definitely going to be a huge challenge for the party in terms of proving the mettle once again. But with respect to logistical issues, day-to-day issues, that's something they're in a far better position right now.
Okay, thank you so much, Dharamjot, for joining us with those details. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.